seems sometimes in life you waste a sacrifice.
Hello there, welcome on the Watches TV, welcome at the Watches Club, and today we have our good friend Eleonor that is going to assist us. Well, actually a bit more than that, because this is a very subjective selection of watches that we're going to talk about, and it's Eleonor's choice. So the goal obviously is to talk about a bit more feminine watches, kind of the best watches according to Eleonor of this year. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily completely new watches, but they can be like animations, but the one that she indeed had a little crush on. So we're going to start with a first category of watches under 10,000 Swiss franc, $10,000 approximately, 10,000 euros if you want. And then we'll have a second video with watches under 25K and a third one with watches under 50K. So because we like to make things obviously a little bit different here, it's not the top 5, it's not the top 3, and we'll go for a top 4. All right, so first category, and we'll have a special guest at the end. So 4 plus 1 exception for this one. So let's start with your first choice.
One of the first pieces of our selection, we've actually already mentioned it in our last Basel Crush, which was the Cut Cuckoo. It's a direct parallel to the 255 iconic clutch that Gabrielle Chanel designed in 1955, and the piece that's available in steel or black ceramic with or without diamonds, still below 10K, reminds the quilted bag, and the actual clasp becomes the actual clasp of the watch to close it on your wrist.
All right.
The number 2 of that selection is going to be Coram with their Admiral Cup collection. We all remember for the 1950, actually 1960, first ever made Admiral Cup with the pendants as our index. Very masculine, very water driven. Actually, the piece that they made this year in mother of pearl marquetry with a blue rubber band and blue different shades of mother of pearl is an astounding piece of feminine timepiece without diamonds, which is the first time for something that is for once not that girly.
And with that marquetry, I mean, it gives it a little kind of a 3D effect.
The mother of pearl marquetry that you actually have on the dial gives some sort of like level, although it actually levels up the entire dial, so we don't see differences, which makes the watch actually pretty thin.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3, I want to talk about a Bell & Ross piece. Everybody remembers the iconic square shape from the BR01. Yet, the rounded piece that Revolution and the Rake made for this upcoming Christmas season, it's called El Mirage. It's actually a limited edition of 100 pieces. And it has this inspiration from vintage pieces, military and aviation, not so feminine. Yet, the fact that it has a champagne dial, not made of gold, but made of bronze, makes it 1, very affordable, and 2, super feminine and elegant, because it cuts the whole alligator black with mother of pearl dye that we often see too often in pieces that we want to make more feminine than masculine. And the last piece before our guest is Fendi. Many of you will say that Fendi is not a watchmaker, and I completely agree with it. However, they decided to launch this year the Polychromy collection, which means several colors in Greek. And the art director happens to be Delfina de Lautrez, which is the Fendi daughter, and she's also an eminent jewelry designer. In the Polychromy collection, it's basically a watch with a quartz movement, so nothing too crazy, but you can divide it into 5 different parts, and you can custom make your piece with over 100,000 combinations, ranging from gold to diamonds to opal, jasper, mother of pearl, to make it really interesting in terms of coloring. And it's super elegant because 1, it's unique, 2, it's based on your personal choices, and 3, you don't really have to think about something too complicated in terms of watch complication. It's a simple basic movement that makes a good rendering of it. Okay, so let's talk about our guest. And I mean, the 4 different names that we talked about, most of you have already probably heard of them, but this 5th one is a newcomer on the scene. A newcomer, French-based. All the pieces are actually made in Switzerland. It was a nice encounter between a young, ambitious man, passionate about watches, who actually never thought he would become the head of a big watchmaking brand, or which happens to be and will become in the next few years a super watch brand. He partnered with Jean-François Mojogon, which we've heard for HYT Designs, MB&F, and many other eminent watches that we know. The brand's name is Trilab, and the way and the reason why we find it very interesting is because it's a new way of reading times, where he added a few feminine and decorative elements that makes it as masculine as feminine, super universal, super unisex, and extremely elegant.
All right, and there we go for our first selection. So see you soon for number 2 with watches under $25,000. See you soon.